Hey, before the video starts, guys, make sure you guys drop a like down below and also comment your overall. Let me know what overall you guys are. You guys already know I read all my comments. And let me know what you play the most to get rep. Do you play Park? Do you play Prime? Do you play My Career? Let me know. Make sure you guys drop a like and let's get right into it.
Hey, she gon' fall in love. She said she like the way I dance, she gon' fall in love. Hey, she gon' fall in love.
Yo, what's good, guys? Peter here. We're finally back with another video, guys. I know I've been really inconsistent lately. I've been like taking care of a lot of things, and I finally figured things out. You know, I'm finally ready to be consistent, uploading a lot, stuff like that. But anyway, hope you guys are excited. Today's video, basically, it's kind of a different video. I wouldn't really say weird, but it's very different, and you're gonna learn some things that you didn't even think existed in 2K. So basically, somebody already hit 95 overall, and he's using like a really weird method, and I know a lot of people are going to be wondering about that because a lot of people don't know that. I didn't even know somebody hit 94, so I don't know if he was the first 94 or whatever. I don't pay attention that much. I just look at Twitter, and I didn't even know. I know there's a 93 overall, but also a lot of people have been asking me like, oh, how am I such a high overall for playing so little park games? Like, I've played less than 100 park games, I think less than 90 park games on PS4, and when people are like, I'm not like 95 or anything like that, because I don't play the game a lot, but for the little amount I play, a lot of people say, oh, how do you rep up so fast? Either in streams, a lot in streams, and a little bit on Twitter. So you guys already know, man, I have to hook you guys up with the fastest way, the new fastest way to hit 99 overall. And a lot of people don't know about this, and a lot of people still don't know that this guy hit 95 and how he did it so fast. I mean, people might have an idea, but I know exactly what this man did, and basically we're gonna get right into it. So make sure you guys drop a like if you haven't already, man. Let's try to hit 500 likes and let's get right into it. So I'm gonna go really in depth here and really help you guys. I mean, I didn't even make like a first fastest way to get 99 overall. Some of it's just common sense, some of it's like previous 2Ks, but I'm really gonna go in depth in the fastest way to get 99 overall, because a lot of things don't work for everybody, and there's a lot of things that you definitely want to try, a lot of different things, and you'll end up sticking with something and end up basically repping up faster than everybody else. So you guys know, first of all, that this year, I'm gonna say rep up, by the way, because I mean, basically this overall road to 99 is the replacement for rep. So you can rep up in 3 different modes this year: My Career, Pro-Am, and Park. So a lot of people are just gonna immediately rule out My Career, and that's fine. You know, My Career, it's kind of the same thing every year. A lot of people get bored. I don't blame them, and I get really bored on My Career sometimes. I mean, when the game first comes out, and like at first My Career isn't that bad, but I feel, I mean, especially for making a new player, I can definitely see why a lot of people rule My Career out. So we'll talk about My Career later, but the most popular thing is obviously gonna be Park. So to start things out, these are gonna apply to every mode no matter what you're doing, so it doesn't really matter. But basically, the way you rep up this year, obviously you're gonna get a win bonus. I'll talk more about that, but it has nothing to do, or just very little to do, with your teammate grid. I mean, all teammate grid's gonna do is give you just a little bit of VC, but that doesn't mean you don't want to get a good teammate grade. The way you really rep up this year is by grinding badges, which really seems weird at first, but once you explain it more, a lot of it is gonna make sense. I still think teammate grade should have something to do with that. All it gives you is like 200 VC or 150 VC or something very little like that. But the way you really rep up fast is by doing things that count towards badges. So like assists will count towards dimer, rebounds for hustle rebounder. I mean, you guys get the point. Those are really the main things that get you XP and that help you rep up this year, which kind of sounds weird, but that's how 2K decided to do it this year. So if you watched my how to get all badges video, that's gonna really help. I highly suggest you go watch that after this video. The link is in the description. But yeah, that's the main thing. Also, there are some other things. So even if you don't have the badge, for example, assists, for me, I can't have dimer on my center, but assists are still going to count towards that. So pretty much that things that count towards any badge are going to go on that, and then you're going to also get a win bonus, like I said. That's really what's going to make the difference. That's one of those little things, but make sure you guys are winning your games, and that's basically everything that applies to like every mode. So no matter what, just make sure you're doing that every game. But now we're going to really get into the methods. So if you're playing Park, the best thing to do is honestly to play twos. I mean, twos was really broken last year, but this year twos is not as broken, at least in my opinion. I barely played twos last year just because it was so bad. But this year, 2s is really good if you know what you're doing, if you have a good guard and a good center. And since repping up this year is all about how involved you are, 2s you're going to be the most involved because I mean, you're pretty much touching the ball every single time. I mean, there's less people. You're not just standing around. And if you know what you're doing, you're going to get games done way faster because it's make it, take it. Now, maybe you're not as good at 2s. Maybe, I mean, if you're playing with randoms, definitely don't play 2s because you really need communication. You really need chemistry on the 2s. So that's why it doesn't work for everybody. But like, for example, 2s didn't work for me last year. But yeah, 2s is a really good way to go. The best option if you're playing park. And if you have like a speed boosting archetype as your like guard and a good like tall center that can get boards as your center and that can set screens. Now maybe you're more like a pure sharp or something like that is honestly better on the 3s. Now you can still play 3s, it's just regardless you're not going to be as involved because there's more people and just one ball to get touches and to just be involved like that. Also, I know a lot of people that play 3s and they just run 2-man offenses, right? They just run a pick and roll and the other person just spots up in the corner and does nothing the whole game. And you're not going to get like rep or XP or anything like that, especially if you're that one guy in the corner. Also, if you do, like, you really have to play with randoms. If you don't have anybody to play with, 3s is a better option because it's not like you can't mess up. Like, if you mess up, they score, you get the ball back. On 2s, if you mess up, they score, they keep getting the ball until they mess up. So it's really a communication thing on 2s, but on 3s, if you really have to play with randoms, play 3s. And that's pretty much about it with park. I mean, park is very simple. You just want to think of things differently than last year. Instead of thinking about your teammate grade, honestly think about things that go for badges, grinding your badges. I mean, watching that badges video is really going to help. And just find a balance to where you're doing that, you're getting games done still pretty quickly, and you're winning the game. If you guys are having trouble winning the game, just make sure you guys have all your badges, all your hotspots, all of that stuff, because actually grinding for those itself, I mean, even in my career, that's going to help a lot. You know, that gives you rep as well, so you might as well just do that before you head to park. And a lot of people still don't have that, so you're gonna have an advantage at this point. I mean, there's just a lot of different things that play into winning. I'm not gonna get into that, but that's about it for park. So next you have Pro-Am. Pro-Am, I'm not gonna spend too much time on Pro-Am because a lot of the stuff is the same as park, but just as kind of rule of thumb, if you're a guard, run park and run 2s because guards are doing a lot of the work on 2s. I mean, they're just running around screens, shooting the ball, and they're dribbling it the most. They have the ball in their hands the most. They're shooting the most. They're only really hitting the center when they're open on rolls, and the center's not grabbing that many boards because most of the shots are going in. I mean, the field goal percentages on 2s, they're really high. Also, if you're a guard and you're playing Pro-Am, you're competing with like 2 or 3 other guards, right? So you're not going to get as many touches, you're not going to be as involved, especially if you're playing with randoms. So guards are better at park, and centers, I mean, like I said, on the 2s, you're pretty much just setting the screens, only really taking a shot when you're open on the roll. You're not grabbing much boards. But in walk-on, especially if you're the only center, there's so many shots going up, a lot of the shots miss, you're going to get a lot of boards, you're going to be really involved, you have a lot of people that you can set screens for, just stuff like that. Especially if you're the only center, walk-on is better for centers. You're only competing with like one other center unless you're like stupid enough to run 3 centers, or you're just running with bad randoms or whatever. Centers are better at walk-on, and pretty much other than that, that's basically it. I mean, a lot of the stuff is just the same as park. Don't try to over-involve yourself on the Pro-Am, especially if you play a lot of park. You're not going to get used to getting that little touches. Don't force things. Don't just shoot the ball because you got it, because you rarely get it. I mean, you really have to play smart when you're playing Pro-Am, and that's something that's better to do if you're playing with a squad. Also, a lot of the badges are better to grind in Pro-Am rather than park. That's one of the reasons why Pro-Am is actually really good for your rep. So if you're grinding badges, don't be afraid to play Pro-Am, even though you're playing against other people. Now, I saved, honestly, the fastest method for last because a lot of you guys are just going to rule it out. I don't blame you. I ruled it out myself, but this is honestly the fastest method to get 99 overall. I'm not saying do this, do whatever works for you. That's why I named all these different methods, all these different things that you should factor in when you're doing your thing, when you're trying to grind your rep. But this is what the first 95 overall did. The fastest way to get rep in NBA 2K18, the fastest way to get 99 is just to grind my career. Now, I already know you guys are thinking, my career, I'm not going to grind my career, it's boring. And honestly, it's really, like, I'm not going to do this solely either, but, like, because this guy is just really just got 95 overall from grinding my career. But there are bits and pieces out of this that will help you rep up faster than pretty much everybody else. So basically this guy just grinds my career, and you're not going to want to just do that. But a lot of the badges are faster in my career anyway. So like especially with the practice facilities, one of the biggest reasons why my career is so fast this year is that you don't have to rely on anybody. Like no matter how much clout you have, if you're going for top rep, like everybody still seems to struggle with having consistent people to play with all the time, because you have to play Park all the time if you're grinding it with Park. So if you don't have anybody to run with and you just need badges anyway, you might as well just do this. So you go into my career playing the lowest difficulty you can. There is, I think, a rookie glitch, and just rack up stats. If you're going for badges, go for that badge only if it gives you a lot of these stats and a lot of these teammate grade things, and that actually goes towards the badge. But just rack up stats. That's all people do. Just stat hog. That's pretty much all. It's just a complete exploit, because you don't have to rely on other people. You're not playing against other people. You're playing against the AI, which is smarter this year. But like once you really know what they do and how they behave, and you find an exploit for that, I mean, it really makes sense why this is the fastest way to rep up. I mean, I was thinking at the beginning of the year, like if you can rep up in my career, there are people that honestly play my career more than Park, and they're just my career heads. They're gonna end up getting it, or some badge grinders gonna end up getting it. And that's basically what you want to do. Maybe if you don't have anyone to play with at the time, maybe if you like, it's pretty much the same thing. You just want to stat hog. It's just a lot different. You're pretty much exploiting everything, and you will get better and you will get more used to it, as this guy has, as he's caught up to everybody else and he's passed everybody in rep already. But honestly, out of these three things, my career is the fastest way to rep up. So like I said, if you don't have anybody to play with, if you just want to grind some badges anyway, you might as well play my career if you're really grinding that rep. But don't play the game just because you want rep. Play the game because you enjoy it. Play the game because you feel like playing it. I know a lot of people that are like, oh, I don't want to play any more Park, but I have to get this many % today. Like, just don't slave yourself, man. Just play the game because you enjoy it. And that's what it is all about at the end of the day. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Again, make sure you guys smash that like button down below. Try to hit those 500 likes. And if you are new to the channel, make sure you guys subscribe. Back on the 70K grind. Join the family. And I'll talk to you guys in the next one.